So I'm going to go ahead and actually, let's go ahead. I have a Mac, which is a little bit different than the PC format, but it will we'll kind of walk through on how to get there. So a lot of times, either you can come up here, if you guys can see my screen. All right, see where my mouse is? I'm swinging it around. If you go up to the top, this is your Wi-Fi connection. This little triangle with those little arrows right here. And that tells you how good of a signal you have. So that means how strong your internet is. So we have 3 bars, so it's pretty good. And so what we're going to do is we're going to click on there, and then I'm connected to Calaveras. So if you can find the 3 bars on your tablets, then we can, so let's go down. A lot of times on the PCs, they're located on the bottom.
Oh.
And so on the bottom of your PC, on your main disk, you should be able to access, here, this is it, okay. So this is
just a little red dot.
Yeah.
Okay.
So those little lines, so PC is a little bit different. And then you're gonna wanna click on Calaveras. So, you're looking at the triangle with lines. And it looks like you're already connected.
Yeah.
So perfect, you're awesome.
Okay.
So the tablets, it's the same thing. If you can find those triangles with lines on PC, to Apples, or tablets, then you know you're going to be connected to the Wi-Fi. So once you get there, you can click on. So this, if you toggle this little button, that's off. It means I have no Wi-Fi, no connected to the internet. I click it back on, now I'm connected. And then you can know your networks, what's around, by clicking on Know Networks. So Calaveras, the Senior Center Calaveras Wi-Fi is Calaveras. And then you would click on it and it would pop up with give the password. So I'm already connected, but does anybody need help with that? Would you like some help?
Well, I didn't read anything that you had to say to bring with me today, so I brought my Kindle on an iPhone.
Perfect, that works. We are just going over how to run Zoom. And then I will answer any questions that anybody has on any other device, as much time as we have. So, yeah.
I need the security key.
Oh, so you're gonna need the security key.
Yeah, I need the security.
So it's actually the phone number. So try that and then see if that works.
One before?
Nope, just 209-754. 3967.
Enter.
Yep, let's see if that will connect you.
It's working on it.
Perfect. So, and it looks like you are connected. So you have internet. And then are you connected to the, oh, sorry, go ahead. Are you connected to the Wi-Fi?
I think so.
Perfect. Then you're set.
I can't find those little things you were talking about on my laptop.
So go towards the bottom, because PCs usually have their little control center.
Yeah.
Apples are on the top, PCs are usually in the bottom corner. So if you go down here, okay, so hit that little arrow. Yep, and pull that up. So let's see. It doesn't have it there. So let's go ahead and go
We put
to
the phone number in, and then I clicked on OK, and it didn't take.
so those are your we're just working with internet. So let's see what that one says.
I'll just start from fresh.
Like that right here. Okay, that's your audio, so click on that there. So
On what?
just click on your screen now. This will get out of there. All right, so what that means is you're gonna go to your settings on this computer.
All right, this is very interesting.
Okay.
So I don't know where it is.
All right, so let's go ahead and look at,
And then she just put the phone number, I put that in, and that's what came up.
so move over a little bit.
Oh, I used these keys.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
As long as they're.
What we're looking for is your phone number. So oh, let me see. Sarah, you know our PC's a little bit better.
Yeah, what's the rest of the phone number?
Oh, sorry.
3967.
3967.
Okay. And then Sarah, if you can help, sorry, what's your name? Peggy. I have, I know,
Sometimes.
it's interesting, you get your favorite technology that you work with in Apple. PCs, I know, but I don't know where your setting is. And if you don't mind, I can take just, if you want me to take a look at
You know
it.
what, I'm just gonna shut this one down.
Work on the price. Okay.
Yeah, this is gonna be too much.
Perfect. And then once you have your Zoom account, you can go, all you just have to log in. perfect, then you're ahead.
Not there.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine. You can get that on there later.
Okay,
And
and then
then,
shut this one down.
Yeah, I can help you after she's finished. I can help you get on
Okay.
there and then download it. Yeah.
all right. So, you're good?
Tom's good, everybody's good.
So everybody, we're ready to roll.
Okay, we're all connected, okay? Zoom edition.
Now, are you
It's okay.
going to use Zoom to set up or to work with the classes that you're putting on?
No, most of the classes will be in here. So what we're doing is this set of classes that they asked me to teach was just on how to run Zoom. And then that way you can communicate outside of Calaveras. I mean, that's where a lot of a lot of meetings are being held and stuff like that. But we could actually set up a Zoom and run a meeting.
Yeah, if there's enough interest in doing Zoom classes for technical training, we can do that as well. As long as everybody's on Zoom, right? As long as everybody can connect in, we can do those classes and it wouldn't be a problem.
So, yeah.
I'll see what I can get out of it.
Great.
All right,
I do
so.
have a friend in France that I'm communicating with already.
Nice, perfect. So yeah, and Zoom, I think, once we hit that pandemic, it became a necessity for us to reach out, and Zoom blew up. I mean, a lot of people didn't know what Zoom was until we couldn't communicate, and we wanted to see faces, and talking to each other wasn't cutting it. So when we went to Zoom, and the biggest lesson I got in this was when my kids had to go and be taught through school, and all of their communication was through Zoom with their teachers. So they were doing classes and whiteboards and things like that, and it was a crash course on how to run this. And then a lot of the industries have not come back. So a lot of it is you can work from home as long as you can process through Zoom, which has made life a little bit different than 3 years ago at this point. So Zoom is definitely like one, but you also have like Skype and other communication forms, but Zoom is the one I feel the most comfortable with. So today we're learning Zoom, and today we're just gonna go over the basics. So just the basic guide to Zoom and how it runs, what it is, how to set it up, and then we're just gonna mess around. So we'll work, this might be really quick, it might be a little bit long, so we're gonna see what it is. So what is Zoom? So Zoom is an online conferencing platform. So their logo is one platform to connect it all. So you can either do that through video or audio. So you can turn your video off, you can just talk without your video on, you can have the video on, you can run conferences all the way up to 100 people on a computer, tablet, or phone. So it runs on any of those devices. You have 3 options, and today we're just gonna focus on the free option. But so the free option is up to 100 people in a meeting. You can have 3 whiteboards. A whiteboard is where, say you are tutoring a child and you have to do a math problem. The whiteboard, you can pop it up, you can draw out your math problems, you can also put presentations on there. So if you're running a conference, they can see what you're doing. But you can have 3 of those pre-ready to go. But the problem with the free one is you only have a 40-minute limit. So at 40 minutes, it pops you up. Doesn't matter if it's or if you're talking to one person, if you're talking to 100 people. 40 minutes, you get a little thing saying 5-minute limit, 2-minute limit, and then it closes you down. The way to get over this is you just reload it up and start your conversation over again. Now, if you are doing it on a professional level, then you might want to be looking at the other options which you would have to pay for, and that is the Pro and the Business, and I think there's a Business Pro now. So the Pro, you can go up to 100 people in a meeting, 3 whiteboards, in 30 hours per meeting. I mean, I don't know who uses 30 hours of communication, but you got that option. The Business, you can go up to 300 people. So if you are running a business and you want to teach a class online, you can go up to 300 people, and these people it's very bizarre because you will see a whole bunch of faces all dolled together, and you have a whole line of like page 1, page 2, page 3, and you can just scan through them. Now that gets a little chaotic, but when you're hosting a meeting, you have a lot of control because you can mute people. You can make the focus on you because a lot of times when you're teaching stuff, you need that focus on you. So there is a lot of control with Zoom, and as we go, we'll get more comfortable with it. But today we're just going to start with the free. We're going to pretend that you're just communicating to a loved one. and go from there. So the real question is, how do you get Zoom? So the first one is, on a computer for the free version, the first thing you would want to go to is www.zoom.us. Now that's going to look like, I'm just going to pop it up. So yeah, zoom.us is where you would go. Well, I can pull it back up. I'm actually going to type it in so you can see what the blue bit is. But it's just Zoom and a little tab up here. So in your search, or your what is that called? Search bar. There we go. So you go to zoom.us, and what that's going to do is it's going to bring you over to their US. Yep. Yep. And it will just pop you over. So we're just going to let this think for a minute.
Is that after the www?
You could put it before or after. So yeah, it always goes after the www. Or you can just go Zoom US, because a lot of the platforms already understands the www. But yeah, so you do www.zoom.us. And then that's how you kind of find anything. So if you need to find anything out there, Lowe's or anything, you can go www.lowe's.com. All right, so this is their platform. So this is, if I already have an account, so when you would actually let me just log out of this. So when you would first come up, usually this would say sign up for free. And let me log out of mine, and that way you can see that. So let's go ahead. All right, so this would be, if you were fresh to it or brand new to it, this would be what you would look at. So it would just say sign up for free classes. So you can do a whole bunch of stuff here. If you want to look at buying a business one, you would just go to plans and sales prices here, but today we're just focusing on that. So when you go to that, since I've already signed up, it doesn't really, it's gonna be a little bit harder to show you guys how to do it, but I kind of broke it down on what I could find. So you would go to Let's Get Started. You would enter an email in. So once you have an email, how many of you guys have an email account already? Okay, an email account? Yeah. So yeah, so all you need is that, and that way you can access that. So you would use your email account that you're comfortable with, and then you would hit continue.
Is email account the same thing as email address?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry.
No, you are fine. We can go the basics. That's all good.
I'm very basic. So
we're good.
Account is the same as address?
Yeah. So your email account and email address, yep. And this is what's going to happen is when you hit continue, it's going to pop up with saying that check your email for a code. So what it's doing now is verifying your email to your email to the Zoom account. It's linking them together. So what you would have to do is you'd have to go to your email account and grab the code they would give you. And you have 10 minutes to put that in. And you would put in this 6-digit code, and it would connect Zoom to your email. It's just verifying that you are who you say you are. So I've already done this because I have the account in. So if you guys want to connect, we can do that. Walk through this step, and that way everybody can get on Zoom, or I can run through it, and then we can run through how to connect everybody after the class. What do you guys feel more comfortable with?
This is all for downloading the Zoom app,
Yes.
but if I have it, then I don't.
I'm gonna pull that up and start going through on how to run that. So do we want to get the Zoom apps onto your tablets right now, or just run through this and then maybe next time when you guys are comfortable, run through getting it on your tablets?
Let's keep it simple.
Keep it simple? All right. So I'm just gonna run through this, and then I'll start showing you how to use Zoom. So let me go back here. All right, so once you get, so once you have your email entered, you do the activation, then you're gonna set your account up. So you're going to put your name in, you're gonna create a password that is, you want it to be pretty good of a password because Zoom, it is an online platform. So you want that security level to be there. So don't use like 1, 2, 3, 4. Use something that's pretty unique, and that's something you remember, write it down. But if you forget it, you can always do the, I forgot my password, and recreate a password. So there's a lot of options if something does happen, but make sure that you are secure, because you don't want you don't want anybody to be able to get into your stuff. So then it's going to ask, once you have your name and your password in, it's going to ask you to download Zoom to your computer. So you say yes, I'm going to download it, and then you put it through, and then it will, at that point, you're ready to run through and be a Zoom user. Now, if you're working with a tablet, it's kind of the same thing. So you would go to, on your app store, on your tablet devices, so your phones, things, your handheld devices, you would go to your app stores, which is usually on the Apple, it's this little blue one. So, and then on Kindle, I think it's a little bit different, but you would just go to your app store. What I could do is just, and then I can run through this, I'll connect this up here in a minute. And then you would do the same thing. So you would click the sign up for free, unless you have an account already. So if you've already ran through the computer, then you would sign in your password and your name to connect these two together. So if you've already created an account, you don't have to do this. All you have to do is just download that app.
If you remember your password.
If you remember your password. And if you forgot it, you can always, I'm always switching my password, because I always forget where I put it. I'm always like, I forgot my password, recreated a new one.
That's what I'm trying to do.
So if it's the first time and you want it, you're signing up for the first time on the app, then you would recreate that. You would sign in, they would activate your email, and then you would put your name and your passcode in, and then you would be ready to roll. But if you already have that on your computer, then you would just type in your username and your password that you've written down. And then at that point, congratulations, you are ready to communicate on Zoom with your phone. And so on a side note, this is, if you are asked to join a meeting, which we'll go over that later, you don't need a Zoom account, you just need the email and that little code. But if you're hosting the account, you have to have a Zoom. So let's get to how do you create a meeting. So now I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys how to do it. So I'm gonna go down here, and I have created, so I've downloaded, I've went through the steps. So I put my email in, I've activated my account, and I have downloaded the app. So on my Apple, the app is down here. See this little Zoom right down here? This little blue bar? It says Zoom, and that's my app icon. So when I click on that, it's gonna pop up with this screen. There we go. So this is the Zoom app, and it's going to ask me sign in. Mine's already pre-done. So it says sign in, and then you put again that user passcode and your username, and then you end up with this screen. So this is kind of the command bar of the Zoom app, and the Zoom app is pretty much the same on your tablet and your phone. On your computer and your handheld device. Except the computer has a little bit more features that you can control, but it's pretty much the same platform. So I would do too, if I wanted to do a new meeting, so say that it means we're going to be like, we need to meet today, let's hop on Zoom, I need to go over something with you. I would go to new meeting, which is this orange button here, and I would click on it. And now everybody sees me. So now it's connecting, and then it's going to ask me, do I want to use my computer audio? And I say yes, because what that means is they can hear me through my speaker. So I can even go down here if I want to make sure my speaker's good. I can click test, and you can hear it. You hear the music going? So I know that I can hear them out. And I put yes, that works. And then the microphone, you see those little dots going? It knows that they can. See, now it records it and lets me know that my microphone works. So that's the first time you do it. You can always do that the first time. So right now I'm on Zoom. So I'm hosting. I'm not connected to anybody. It's just on there. So now if I wanted to, I can delete myself right now. There we go. So I can mute myself. And so no one can hear me talking because I have that muted. And so that's your mute and unmute. I can stop my video, this right down here, and I can pull so no one can see me if I don't want them to see me. So those ones are your audio and your video. So you can mute and unmute right down here. So now if I want to add someone to the call, I would go to participants right over here. And I can see who is on this call with me here. So right now I'm the only one. So if I say I wanted to invite Sarah, I would go down to invite down here. And then I would put in her email, or I can preset her, her contact information here. So if you wanted, or you can go down to copy invitation. So if I copy this and I go over to my email account, my email's pretty messy, you guys, so just heads up there. So I go over to my email account and I want to go ahead and go in. And I want to, I'm just going to email Sarah. So I'm going to compose a new one. I'm going to email. I'm going to put Zoom meeting. And then I can just copy in that invite.
Did you want to email me?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
I don't know if I have your email one.
It doesn't matter.
Okay, what's yours?
SE Lunsford, which is @gmail.com.
All right, so see this information here? I copied and pasted this, and so it has the information for that Zoom meeting that we're doing now, that I'm still on. So it's giving the web address here, it's giving the meeting ID number, and it's giving the passcode. The passcode is the most important. So say that you get this email, and it's from your granddaughter, and she's like, let's meet up. That passcode is what you're gonna wanna copy and paste, because when it says join meeting, you're gonna paste that passcode into the meeting. That way it's secure. Now no one's gonna be able to hop on these meetings unless they have that passcode. And so that's why you wanna make sure you have those passcodes in there. So then I would just go ahead.
I'm gonna just raise my hand. And in that two section,
Oh, sorry.
you can invite multiple people.
Yes.
So did you want to invite yourself too, just so that they
Yep.
can see how that works?
I lost my little, what is it? All right, so let's go. I can do multiple people, and then just pop that there.
So then you can have, like, let's say you want to get in touch with 4 of your grandchildren at one time, and they're in 4 different spots, right? You can do one email, send one link, and then they all get the link, and all of them can access the Zoom meeting at the same time.
Yep. And then I would just hit send, and then you would pop up with a, oh, it's gonna be on my arrow. That's fine. I have too many email accounts. So if I pop on this one, and this is a very messy email, so don't mind all of mine. So I got it right here. So I click on here, and then there we go. So this is what you see, what you send to other people. So they would have their meetings, and they would click on the blue, you have your meeting ID, and then you have the passcode. So if I wanted to pop on, I would just click on, I would copy my passcode because I know I'm gonna need that. So I just copy that. So the copy, you just click on here, you go up to edit, go down to copy, and hit copy, and then I would just click on this, and then it would ask me, do I want to open Zoom? I say yes, I'm gonna open Zoom. And then it would pop up. And it might not do because I'm logged in also right now. Okay, so launch the meeting. Okay, so it's not letting me do it because I'm hosting the meeting. So at that point, it would usually pop up saying enter in passcode. And that's where you would copy the passcode in, and then you would join the meeting. So that's how you get people to come on with you and enjoy the fun. So now we have, say that Sarah has joined, and we have multiple people. So on this one, this is when you get a whole bunch of people on. You can mute everybody on here. So if you want to be the only one talking, you can go ahead and make everybody else quiet. And so I would just either click mute, and then I can mute everybody, and then there we go. And then there's more options that you can have. You can ask all to mute, so you're more polite instead of just being like, we're going to mute you now. You can ask them, so you have those little toggles to have more options, and that would just be this more down here. So if you mess around with this app, you can find a whole bunch of little doozies on here. So then we go back. So now I'm done with participants, and close that. So I have Sarah, she's joined, and we are talking, and I have myself unmuted. Now, say that I want to teach someone how to do something. Now, this is where that whiteboard comes in, and that's where down there is that whiteboard. So if I click on the whiteboard, it's going to be loads my whiteboards up. So you just got to let it think. And so this one would be, I'm just going to go new. Collaborate. So I'm just going to open a new one. Collaborating means that people can just come on and help. So, and communicate through the whiteboard also. So it's going to load up the, oh, and I got Sarah on there too. So see Sarah? So she's in the back room. So she's on there. And so now this is where it gets a little tricky, because sometimes when the internet has a lot of people using it, you can kind of get logged down a little bit. So this is a whiteboard. So this is pretty cool because I can be like, all right, so I'm going to draw a picture. I'm going to be like, okay, we're going to go 3 plus 2 equals 5. So say you're communicating and you need that option to show people something. You can write it out here. You can add or put in, you can upload images. So if I wanted to upload an image so someone can see what I need them to see, I can go ahead and upload that. And that way, it's just another form of communication that is visual that you can have people be on the same page with you. So that is called the whiteboard. And the way you can get out of that is I can just click, I can just go ahead and click out of here. See that X? If you want out of anything, always find the X. The X is the best way to get out of anything. So I click and the whiteboard's gone. Now we can just communicate together. And so this is exactly how it would look if we were doing a one-on-one Zoom call. And then if you wanted to record your session, you can record down here at the bottom. So if I go ahead and click that, I can...
Recording in progress.
It will tell everybody it's recording, so there's no privacy issues. And then it's recording, and then when I hit stop recording, see this little box right up here? I have a pause, so say you want to have one fluent video, I can pause that if I'm going to talk about something I don't want in my recording. Once you stop it, though, that file is created, and then so you would have, if you started again, you would have multiple files of video. So if you wanted to pause and then go on, continue, you would just unpause it and continue. But once I hit stop, so I come over here to here and I hit that box one that says stop recording.
Recording stopped.
I stop it, and then it's converted to an MP4 file and it's put on my desktop. So I can do whatever I want with that later. I can send it. So I can send it to someone. I mean, say if you have a great one for this would be either when you're teaching something and you want it to be recorded and used for later, or like we've used it for my daughter's dance recitals. So we've gone and done a Zoom meeting and recorded it that way, or my dad would record it from his house so he can have it for later. So there's those forms of use. The biggest thing is you just want to make sure that wherever you're doing it from has strong internet. So that's where it gets tricky. Then say that you are talking and you have multiple people going, and then something pops up in their head, but they don't want to interrupt you. You can go to the chat button and you can type in what you want to say. So say I'm talking blah, 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 and someone's like, hey, how are you? So I type that. and it would pop up. So people can have a text message going on while the presentation's happening. You can go to, this one is to everyone, so everyone in that group can see it. And then that's the way you can control that is down here. So if you go ahead and click, I just want to send this message to Sarah, I can click on there, and that would be a direct message just to her. So say you are in a Zoom meeting and someone else is talking, and you need to talk to someone else, but you don't want everybody to see it. That's where this becomes really, really important, because you can direct it. Yeah, exactly. You don't want the rude stuff to come out. So, and again, if you want to get out of there, you can just go up here. If you want the screen to go away, these little arrows just means that there's more information there. And then you can just close it there.
Where's pop out?
That sidebar, that white part is,
Yeah. So you can pull it out. And then at that point, right, you can move this around. So if you want it here, there, you can make it smaller, as small as you can want to make it, or as large as you want to make it. So you can have that communication going. And then you just hit the button and it'll close out. And then whenever you want to pop on, the communication's still there. The only time this will stop is when you log out. So say those 40 minutes are up and there's information that's really important in here, sign or get the information, because once this program shuts down, you can't access this chat anymore. So
Can you make notes to yourself without anybody else on there?
it still won't be saved. So once the program, so you would have to, you can either write it on paper, or you can have like down here, you can have your notepad up and running on your computer, and you can be writing notes down on the computer.
But thinking like minutes, you know, if you're taking notes on that meeting and you want to retype it later to send out to everybody.
Yeah, I would say at that point, I wouldn't trust the chat bar, because if they log out, you lose all of those notes. So I wouldn't type anything on there if you're planning to use them for later. I would have another Word document up, and that's running. So just like this. That way, if the Zoom meeting for any reason cuts out, you don't lose any of your notes. So I would just have one of these running.
And that's all part of the Zoom program?
No, this would just be separate, yeah. So you can have like your Microsoft Word, you can have your notes, or just write them in hand, but I would not trust anything on Zoom because there's no save function, unless you're recording it. If you're recording it, then you can have that documentation for later. But if you're not recording it, none of it's saved. And that's mostly just privacy reason, because everybody wants to know that they're being recorded, things like that. But if you, I would say separate those out. And then for security reasons, you can lock meetings and then you can share your screens. This is a little bit more high tech, but if you have a secure password, you should be good. So you also have options on your microphones. You can put, if you have a microphone you want to use, you can get really technical here and start adding in what microphones you want to use to be sound. Most of the time, the built-in stuff on your phone, your tablets work perfectly fine. But this just gives you more options. And then the same thing with your video. So say I'm talking and I don't like my background. If I click on this little button, see this little arrow? Those little arrows, oh my God. Those little arrows usually means that there's something else going on. See it right here? So if I click on that, it's gonna pop up with another selection. So I can blur my background. You gotta give it a minute to think. And I'm gonna make myself bigger.
Oh, okay.
Let me go ahead and do, okay, it's not gonna do it. So yeah, so if you look up here, I've blurred my background up here. Let me see if I can do gallery view. Oh, there we go, I'll do gallery, there we go. So down here, my background's blurry. And then, that way you can hide your background. You can go as far as you want to do a virtual background. So say I want to be in outer space. It can be in outer space now. So now you can protect your background. And they got a whole bunch of different options you can choose. And then you can also upload your own if you want your own background. So say you have something that you like, or you have a business and you want your logo and your background the whole time, you can do that too. So then, let's go down Then we want to go to, you can add filters. Filters are, I want a background, or I want a border. So now I have a border. So you can have a lot of fun with these. My kids love this.
So that happened because you pushed filter?
Yep. So if I went down to where the video thing is down here,
Yeah.
and then I click on that area,
Okay.
and then I go here and I have blur my background, which just makes it background blurry. And then I can do the virtual background, which did the landscape behind me.
Okay.
And then the filter adds like those little fun details. So I can put the dog in there, I can put myself on a TV. So you can have a lot of fun with these. So now I have a planner in my head. So you can do, and it's really cool, like it's really well adjusted to face recognition. So you can have a lot of fun with those, and then you can even go down to, if I don't want to even, I want people to interact with me, but I don't want to really be on there, I mean, you can create yourself as an avatar. It just takes a minute to think. Yeah, a lot of times it's the, just getting you on. There you go. So now I'm a fox. And so I can still communicate. It still has a weird vibe that you're talking to someone. It's not just a blank screen, but no one sees me. So if you're having a bad hair day, or you're like, I really don't want to be seen, there's a lot of options. And then if you're like, no, I don't even want to go through that, you just pop up, go back, and I'm going to delete everything. So I'm going to get rid of, so the way that you get rid of it is you would just go to, I don't want to show avatar. I'm going to get rid of my filters. So filters, see where it says none? So if I click none, I start getting rid of those things. So if you want to go backwards, you can just go to none. And then at that point, if I click this, it just picks up or shows my picture. No one can see me. It's personalized. If I click unmute, they can still hear me, and I can still talk to them. I can still hear them, but no one sees me. So if you're like, I don't want to be seen today, you have that option too. Now say that you are in a meeting and there's a lot of people and you have a question. The way that the etiquettes of asking questions now is, see over here where reactions are, right down the bottom? This is going to be where you can raise your hand. Right here I can raise my hand. See, now it popped up here, I have a question. So when people are looking through and they have a lot of people, they see a hand raised, they can be like, okay, Sarah, you got a question, what's your question? And then they would unmute me, and then I can ask my question. So this is like if you're in a big meeting, and then I can click lower hand right down here at the bottom, and it'll get rid of that hand when I'm done. And then if I'm like really enthusiastic and someone's talking about something I really agree with, I can put my thumbs up. I can do congratulations. And so these are like cute little things you can do. And so, and then when I want to get rid of them, and then I just click it. Oh, wait, where'd I go? And then it goes away on its own. So it lasts for a little bit and then it just pops out. But if you're raising your hand, it will stay there the whole time until you click lower hand.
Now can participants do all this too?
Yes. So that's what, and so you're hosting, you can do that, and your participants can do that too. Now if you mute your participants, they can't unmute themselves until you click unmute them. Because otherwise, especially if you have a large amount of people, and people want to get their voice out there, then it can slow down your meeting. So it's just a lot more control on your pacing of your meetings, things like that if you're looking at the business. If you're just meeting with loved ones, you just have a conversation and you're good. So it depends on what you want to do. And then I'm trying to think, so on whiteboard you can also do templates. So you can create your templates. So if you wanted to have a presentation that was ready to roll, you can use the templates that you have, and then you can customize it and make it your own. And then that way you can have little cute little things you can do. And then
you pull pictures up from your gallery.
So the way you can do that is, see this little button down here with the arrow that's pointed up? You hit upload PDFs and images, and then I can access what I have here, and I can pull it up from my computer. So you have access to, and that's the reason why you downloaded that app, is because the app is now embedded in your computer, and so you can access your files and things like that. So now, I'm gonna go to screen share. So that's pretty much if you want to end your conversation, I would have to hit end here, end all, and it just wipes it out. So I just cut out all mine, because I hosted that. That's converting that. Oh, so I recorded that meeting. It converted my meeting, so now I have an MP4 file right here, and it downloaded straight to onto my computer.
Okay, can you do a Zoom meeting also through like messages, like where I'd send you a text to your cell phone number? So when I do participants, I could just put in the cell phone numbers or the names of people that I have in my contacts.
Yes.
And do it that way, and it's not done through email at all.
Yeah, so you definitely can do
Is there a
that.
disadvantage to that?
There's not really a disadvantage. You can collect your, so say I want to go to new meeting, I go to participants, and I want to invite. No, it's not. You can even, it can make it a lot quicker if you already have your contacts laid into there. So on here, you can start typing and having all those contacts pre-done. So if you're like, I'm gonna have a Zoom meeting with my husband or my wife, you can just click on them. So it's actually quicker. Most of my family, we use FaceTime on our phones. So Zoom is mostly my business when we run through business and stuff, so I never put in the contacts. But you can have it preset where it makes it just quicker. So that's definitely an option. There's really no disadvantage. Your meeting passcode is down here. So if they're like, hey, I can't get in, you can always read off what the meeting is to them down there. And then on your tablet.
Let me ask you, what are you using, an Apple?
I'm using an Apple, yep.
I got a PC, I don't want to get that, I'll call it taskbar.
On the bottom?
Yeah,
So this
I don't
one,
get that.
this one's the Zoom one. The one that pops up here, that's a Mac. You have to have that on the Mac. Most of the time, the desktops are on the top with the command button. But
What happens is you just have to move the mouse and it shows up. But you have to be actually in the meeting for that to show up.
Oh, for that thing to show up.
Yeah, so this whole picture you're looking at where you see the taskbar,
So-
you have to be in the meeting for all of that to show up.
so why don't we do a test run? So do you have Zoom up right now?
Yeah.
Perfect. Then I'm going to give you. So let's go ahead. I'm going to have you add. You're going to go to join a meeting.
Okay, join, got it.
And then you're going to type in the passcode 4D, little d. And it's this one right here, if you can.
4D.
And then uppercase V, as in Victor. Lowercase t, as in Tom. And then up.
Wait a minute, good time. Start over, please, 4.
Yep, 4, and then lowercase d as in dog. Uppercase V as in Victor.
Mine won't sign. Please enter a valid, okay. Meeting ID is what you're giving me.
Oh, I'm giving you the meeting passcode. So let me go ahead and pull up the meeting
Oh,
ID.
yeah.
So sorry about that. It's hard sometimes when you're looking at these and you're like, wait a minute. Okay, so let me go ahead and do.
Seems like they always generate different numbers for different things.
They have a layout. It's one of those things where you're like, wait a minute, what am I doing today? Copy the invitation. Here. the one with messages. Okay, so the meeting ID number is this one right here.
Wait a minute. 897.
37447647. It takes a while to think, but there you go. I wouldn't update it right now, I just. Do you have your user ID and password saved on your computer? Like your email?
No, that's the password.
Let's try to leave it there. Let's just put password, just again, just try to open Zoom again. Just so that- Yeah, once you decide.
Oh, there we go. I got Darlene.
That's what we want, right?
All right, so I'm just gonna delete or mute you, that way we're not bouncing on
Or password you set your Zoom up with initially.
So,
The Zoom password and then Zoom. Yeah, it'll probably be your email and then your Zoom password. Maybe that works. Oh, it's gonna watch it update, so update it just real quick. Hopefully it'll be quick.
Here goes, come on. It's creepy.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, they're always updating things so that they improve them. Then you have to wait for the updates.
Not very flattering.
oh,
It never is.
the way, there's tricks to
There
that.
are tricks to it.
So it
yeah.
raise up, so there's always those things of make it higher at eye level. If you want to be more flattering on there, is always make it eye level with your screen. And then, yeah, so whenever anything's down, you're always looking up the nose. Yeah.
When you see the neck.
There's a way around that, and that is to do exactly what you're doing. You can put a pile of books up, put your tablet or laptop on top of the books, and then you're looking straight at your camera.
No, one time when I tried to Zoom on my phone, I couldn't hear anybody.
Okay.
And so this is an Android, and but I had to go out of it in order to put it on. What do you call it?
Unmuted.
Hands-free voice. What do you call that?
Oh, okay.
So the Bluetooth,
Speaker. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
so you have to connect it to a Bluetooth device?
And then open up your email.
You connected it to a Bluetooth device?
No,
Or just
trying
hands-free? Okay.
on here. Yeah. Maybe afterwards you can.
Yeah, we can walk through that.
Just click on this.
Yeah, because I know so a lot of the stuff on like
Code is
the
right there.
tablets and stuff like that, it gets a little, I always find that when I use my phone, it gets a little finicky. For some reason, I think it's usually the internet, because I always use it when it's really crappy internet. Or I found out that if you don't have it updated, it doesn't work properly, because they're always updating the apps and stuff like that. So you're always making sure that you have the newest and best
I would go back to
app. And usually you just go to your app, and then you go to downloads. So like here, if I go to,
Which I don't know what the passcode is.
actually, I'll just share my screen.
Sarah, do you know what the passcode is?
Yes, it is 4, little d, capital B,
I'm sorry, Victor?
Yeah, so 4 and then little d, and then capital V as in Victor, little t as in Tom, capital Z as in Zoo, and then 3.
For some reason, it won't let me put in the passcode. It takes the
Perfect.
So it won't let you do
It
either?
won't let me put it in. It takes the 4, but it won't go any farther. It won't let me
Okay.
do the small b or anything else.
Can you put that ID number back on?
Yep.
So I still will get the password.
Go ahead.
Hosting you again.
So click
So I
join.
can get the 4 and then the d, nothing else happens here.
So this you go.
Oh, this is join with a personal nickname, so they want you guys to keep your nickname, so go ahead and click out of that.
You're muted there.
Click
So
that.
what you would do to unmute yourself is you go to that,
So go ahead and hit cancel start mute.
and that unmutes you. And then double.
Okay, so we have the meeting ID.
Right, that's where I had to put it in and it takes
The ID is gonna be the 897.
897.
So,
That's
yeah.
a good thing.
897.
3744.
And it might just be because we don't have the letter.
647.
And usually what happens is you see the person who's,
Why am I seeing that
the
instead
audio
of
is
the 4
on.
BVT?
Because that will be the passcode. So that's your ID. And then when you hit join, it's gonna ask you for the passcode. Now the passcode is at 4D.
Okay, thank you.
BT. That's what I got.
That's what she gets at now.
Yeah.
I use a PC, so yeah, I'm right there with you.
I'm just gonna mute.
But a lot of that, Tom, is that's how many things, that's how much you have open in your computer, isn't it, Sarah?
Huh?
When you, that line at the bottom of your Apple, when you bring that up.
Oh, yeah.
Those, yeah, so she has all those open.
Yeah, that's my command center. I have it down, you can move it around. Yeah, PCs, and that's where it gets a little finicky. A lot of people are really comfortable with PCs, some people are really comfortable with Macs, and you have the weird people who can do both. I'm not the weird people, I feel more comfortable with Macs, and I can navigate PCs to an extent. But our Macs are really where I'm like, all right, I know this. Okay. Is it working, Peggy?
No,
No?
it just tells me I'm going to encode it wrong. 4D, capital B, small t, capital Z, and 3. And
Is the cap,
Correct.
the cap,
so 4, I've got a small d, and capital
Capital B.
small t, capital Z.
Oh, it did it again. It went, I think it went through.
Sarah's the cap control button on.
Hit
So
your-
am I on cap locks?
Yeah, I always try that myself, that's the first thing I do.
So there's the capital because it's got the arrow up, so it was not.
Huh.
So 4, small d, capital B, small t, capital C, 3, continue.
Yeah, no, it still didn't do it.
Oh,
I don't know. So let's go ahead and, if you mind if I take a look?
sure.
I just want to see if you can see when it's, no, I don't want to do that, cancel. I want to see if you can see what we're seeing here. Show keyboard. So let's try it this way. 4, I don't know why it's not. Again, it's, sometimes they have those finicky moments. So it's just,
Sometimes it's, you know, when you have that type of a situation, it's always good to just restart your device. And that may actually fix it, because there may be a lot of items in the cache, which is,
Yeah,
Yeah, that gets a little deeper, but if you clear those out, then some of the programs will work better.
Okay.
And then we have a Galaxy 0320 who joined too. Perfect. So yeah, so this is how you would do your meeting. Now, if you want to say you are talking and there is, or you're in a meeting and you only want to see who's talking. So up here where view is, right now we're in gallery mode. So that means you can see quite a few people, and it has a limit. So if you have like 15, 20 people on the screen, you're gonna have little dots everywhere. And then what it'll start doing is when it starts going to max, you start getting pages on the bottom. So you can start going like page 1, page 2, page 3, if you have a lot of participants in there. Now, if you want to just hear the speaker, I can go to speaker, and whoever's talking, since I'm hosting, it's not gonna show myself, but it will talk, or it will show the person who talked last. And then, but if you have someone who's doing the presentation and you just wanna see them, you can do this. Everybody else is on the top. And usually if it's multiple people, more than 4, you'll get little arrows on the sides up here that you can toggle between everybody. So say if you want to see your friend, you can toggle and see them at the same time. Say you don't like looking at yourself while you're talking and it's a distraction, you can go over here to, let's go to gallery, so you see me, and it's a distraction. I keep looking at myself, it's getting really annoying. I can go up to view, I can go hide self view, and it will get rid of me. Now I don't see myself, it's more of a conversation one-on-one. You don't, because it's weird to kind of see yourself, especially when you're talking and you're like, hey, and then go from there. And then if you want to see yourself again, you can go to self, and then I see myself. So I don't know if you guys want to, I'm just gonna mute you guys all because otherwise it's reverberating around. But yeah, those are the basics of how to work Zoom. Now, if you're going to do it on your phone, I can do, the phone will look, share screen. So you can connect your phone to, through AirPlay, so I can share this. So this would just be, this is my phone, and so the app would just be the Zoom app there. So I would click on there, and it's kind of the same format. Like you have your orange button that says join meeting, or I mean new meeting, and then you can join a meeting. Right now, since I'm on my, my computer doing a meeting, I can say I'm running out and I want to stay a part of this communication, but I can't bring my desktop, I can switch. And then I can go to my phone. As I'm saying, I'm able to join. Sometimes Zoom gets a little finicky. There's moments where you're like, okay. Let's see, go do it again. But it's supposed to let you switch. So say I want to go, I can switch over. Oh, there we go. So now I'm running this meeting off of here. So now this whole, so it's going, it shuts down my other one because it doesn't need it anymore. So now I'm on my phone and I can run around. So it's the same kind of gist of what we just did on our computer. So you have the same options. I'm going to go back to, I'm going to switch back over to on my computer. That way you can see it. So there's really cool options with Zoom, and it's one of those one of those devices that are platforms that once you start learning the groundwork, there's a lot of little things hidden in there that makes it so much, your workflow so much more impressive, and a lot of fun. Like you can do the little avatars and all of that. So, back to screen share. So yeah, that's kind of the basics. So. So yeah, so if you have out. You, everybody. So say I want to pre-plan a meeting. I want to pre-plan a meeting for a month in advance. I can go to schedule a meeting, and then I can have it pre-planned. So I can send that invitation out to people and be like, we have a meeting in a week. And again, since you are working off a free platform, you only have that 30-minute limit.
And where did you go to get that?
So if,
meeting?
oh, sorry, let's go back over here. So if I went, let me go back to cancel. So on the app, on my phone, I went to schedule right up here. And if I hit schedule here.
So did you have to leave this meeting or not?
No, I didn't. So if I, oh yes, I did. So if that's starting a brand new meeting. So that's if I wanted to do one later. So I would hit schedule and then I can pre-plan it. So if I wanted to do that on this computer, I'm gonna kick everybody out. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna stop share screen. So I'm gonna end the meeting. So everybody's gonna get kicked out. And then, so now I'm back here. Now this is on the tablet, and I mean on the desktop, and I want to schedule a meeting out. I can click on this one. I have this.
Oh, your schedule.
And then I can have it. I'm going to do it on the 11th at noon to. Now you only have that 40-minute window, so I'm only going to do it to 1 o'clock because I know it's going to pop me off. But it's going to remind me I got the free version. It's only 40-minute limit. So, and then I would just go down and hit save, and it would pop up on my calendar that I have a meeting on here. And then also if I wanted to go over here, oh, I have a calendar. If I want to go to scheduled meetings, oh, calendar up here. Okay, so if I go to the top up here, so if I go back to, let me just log in. So say I logged in and I need to know what kind of meetings I'm doing. I can go over to more, and I go to my meetings, and it will tell me that I have a meeting over here scheduled for the 11th of March. There. So again, that's getting a little bit more advanced. So if you want to pre-plan out that you can. And then you can show meeting invitation here if you just want the information, since the meeting's not planned until the 11th. And then I can edit it also if I want to change my time up. And then you can also just copy invitation and you can send it to people. And that's kind of, yeah. So that is the gist of Zoom. It's a lot. Any questions?
And we can also, if you want us to kind of sit down with you, if you have not been on Zoom before, or actually just get you on Zoom, we can do that right now too. So
I just wanted to know how to turn a speakerphone on. Oh, when I'm on a Zoom
from
meeting.
you're on the Zoom meeting, yeah. So maybe we can sit down with you and do that right now.
Because I can just pull up and I'll just have, just join this one and then we can mess with it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do.
And I also wanted to mention, so we're going to be here every Tuesday from 10:30 to, no, sorry, 10 o'clock to 11:30 the whole month of March, and there are tech classes. So we were asked to do the Zoom class, but if you want us to do another class like social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, or any of those platforms, we can always do classes on those as well. Would there be any interest in that? Okay.
Do you give private lessons?
Yes, yeah, you can always call our studio. I didn't bring any cards.
Oh,
I think I have cards. Some of
my pen
are
works just fine.
Yeah, but you can always call us at the studio.
Because that's
too.
more of what
We can give private
my needs are.
Calaveras Community Television. And we're just here in San Andreas.
Yeah, there you go.
And the phone number is 754. 021. And both of us are named Sarah.
Yes.
Sarah Garner, I'm Sarah
Yeah.
Lunsford. And if you want like one-on-one instruction on how to do social media as well, go ahead and give me a call, because I love social media. And I would love to get, I would love to get some of you on TikTok, because there are a lot of people who are in your age group who are actually on TikTok. They have huge amounts of followers and they're just amazing. And all they're doing is filming themselves going, hey, this is what I think about what's going on, or, you know, this is what I think about my, you know, my area, or, you know, this is the wisdom I've accumulated, you know, in 1 minute or less. But it's fun. It's just a lot of fun. And you get followers and you get people communicating with you, and there's a lot of people, above 70 actually, who are doing really, really well on TikTok. So if you want to learn how to do that, I can teach you how to do that too. That is super simple.
Hesitations about TikTok.
I know. I mean, Congress, they just, last week, they introduced a bill to shut TikTok down, but I don't think that's gonna happen, because there's like something like 18 million people on the
Why can't
platform.
we get something, a US company or something to come up with this?
They may.
Depending on China.
And there is actually another opportunity, very similar, which is, it's called a vertical way of filming, or vertical, horizontal is this way. I always have to do this. YouTube Shorts. You film exactly the same way you would for TikTok. YouTube is a totally safe platform. Nobody's going to be attacking Google anytime soon. YouTube Shorts has a lot of traction as well. So if you didn't want to go on TikTok, if you're concerned about some of the things that Commerce is concerned about, or about it being shut down, you can build a platform on YouTube just with YouTube Shorts. And very similar ways of approaching both of them. So I can teach a class on that if you want, and then always you can call the studio too, and we can do one-on-one.
And then we also have the meetings for...
Yeah, we have content creator meetings. We call it our Content Creator Cafe, the third Wednesday of every month at the studio. That is from 2 until 5, and people can just come in with their devices, their computers, laptops, their phones, and anything that you want to ask or learn about, we will do our darndest shortest to try and teach you. That will be that's actually the third Wednesday of every month at the studio. So, and the studio is just, do you know where the Sam gas station is here in San Andreas?
Where the what?
Sam gas station is? Yeah. It's actually just behind that. Yeah, I would have to give you directions on how to get in there, but if you went straight down.
CCWD used to be down.
Yes, we're right near the old CCWD building. Yeah, so if you know where that is, you know where we are.
And what time do you have these classes?
They are from 2 until 5, the third Wednesday of every month.
2 to 5.
What is next Tuesday's content here?
We were going to do like a more advanced Zoom class, but if you all don't want to do Zoom again, I can do the social media class, like a broad overview of social media, and then we can get more into each of the platforms from there, if you want to do that. So, because it really matters what you all want to do, right? So.
I know some things that I'm interested in. I don't know what I'm interested in.
Okay.
I don't know. I know there's my phone or my iPad can do a lot more things
Yes.
than I know it can do. And I want to know what I can do.
And with the apps, with all of the programs, like with Microsoft Word, all of us are kind of used to using it on our tablets, on our laptops, but there's an app for that on your phone. So you for Microsoft Word.
Okay.
So if you want to create a Word document, of course it's very small, but if you want to do that, you can download the app and you can create a Microsoft Word document on your phone. So they're really powerful devices we have now.
Do you think it might be smart if we just since we have 2 hours or an hour and a half, we just do like a 20 or 30-minute lecture, and then for the rest of the time, we just work with the devices. Would that be a better
Would that be a
suit?
better fit for
And then that way,
you guys?
everyone can get things that they need to work through, but they still learn something a little bit, and then
Okay.
we work through different, and then we can also have some people just have hands-on with
Yeah.
their
Would that be more beneficial for you?
And then
Okay,
that way, we're utilizing the time.
more efficiently.
Yeah.
So why don't we do that? I'll do like a 20-minute presentation on social media next week, and then each of you can come in you'll be here hopefully, and we'll help you get onto a social media platform if you're not already.
But if you need help with something else, we can do something
Yeah,
else
exactly.
beside that. But we would utilize the rest of the time to make sure that devices are where you want them to be, where you guys
Yeah.
are feeling comfortable, getting a little bit more hands-on.
Yeah, I think that's
So now these classes that you have,
Mhm.
they're offered, they're charged?
No, they're free to the public. Because we're a public access studio, it is our mission to train people on media.
Great.
So, and we believe all of this is media, not just our channels.
Even if you need a private lesson on what to do.
Yes, absolutely. Just give me a call and we'll set up an appointment time and you can come into the studio and I can teach you to the edge of my knowledge, let me put it that way.
You work like the photos, saving them and how
We
to
can help you do
use,
that.
yeah, okay, that's
Yeah.
a big one for me.
And what were you gonna say, Tom?
My question was, do you have any time today?
Today I don't.
Okay.
But give me a call. We'll be back in the studio after this and I can set up an appointment time. for you.
Okay.
You can come in,
Thank you.
so.
Heidi's coming next time. I have trouble teaching her
Oh.
stuff. So can you teach her WhatsApp?
I actually don't use WhatsApp.
No?
So do you use WhatsApp?
don't
It's a
use it.
Facebook app. I will find out about it and then I will let her know when I know. Because a lot of the Europeans use WhatsApp.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
so.
why she wants to use it.
And WhatsApp is a communications app that is actually built by Facebook. It's a part of their conglomerate of apps, and it is solely for communication, WhatsApp. So, and it communicates in a different way than Zoom does. So you just really need to download the app on your computer or your phone. Usually it's the phone, and most Europeans, if you have European friends, that's what they're using is WhatsApp.